Now, the chairperson of the committee says they all agreed that they wouldn't ask the department to address the rumors, as he framed them as, but he would write to the minister on that matter. And he said you were late, so you didn't sit in on that meeting. But had you been there, would you have supported the position of not seeking clarity on the spot when you have persons who can dismiss a so-called rumor, if you will?
Firstly, as an individual member of parliament, I don't account to any pre-caucus that takes place between the chair and any of the other members. When we are addressed in parliament, and we see this even with the speaker, all members of parliament are addressed as individual members of parliament. Even members that come from the same political party, by the way, they are not addressed as a group. They are addressed as single members of parliament. The fact of the matter is that I had my own 15 minutes, and I can use my 15 minutes however way I see fit. Now, let's address this lie. He can't call it a rumor. Do you know why? Because one of the newly appointed chairs was sitting in the same room as us in the portfolio committee, because the construction seater, which was before the portfolio committee on the day, had a different chairperson. But the one who was sitting before us was a new chairperson. Now, the question we must then ask is, on what right does this individual that we don't know come and sit in our meeting? So we have a responsibility to ask that question. It's no longer a rumor because this person is sitting here in this meeting. Now, you have got the DG of Higher Education who is also sitting in the meeting. What will it hurt if the DG simply answers our simple questions to say, is he aware of the appointments? Is he aware that the son of Gwede Mantashe was appointed? Is he aware that even this chairperson of the construction seater, who is before us today, or rather on that day, is a newly elected or rather newly appointed chairperson?
Now, your party has lodged a formal complaint. Where to from here on this specific matter insofar as the chair's conduct?
Look, the chair's conduct was unethical, the chair's conduct was irresponsible, and he showed very little knowledge and understanding of the work and mandates of Parliament, showed very little knowledge and understanding even of the Higher Education Act in the manner in which he was responding to some of the questions that were putting before him. So we've written to the chair of chairs. We're also going to pursue a case with ethics. We're not going to rest, because members of parliament must never be silent from performing one of the most important duties, which is holding the executive accountable. This is what the Constitutional Court said during the Zuma years, when the Speaker, Baleka Mbete, was stopping members of parliament from asking questions. Members of parliament must ask any question, and the Speaker has a responsibility to put it before the President. The Speaker can't say, this question is not relevant. I mean, if you watch the Q&As that happen in Parliament, even when the Speaker is unhappy with the question, and by the way, a Speaker is much more senior than a mere chairperson of a portfolio committee of higher education. Even when the Speaker is not satisfied, the Speaker will say, Mr. President, are you willing to take this question? And it must put it before the President, and it becomes the President that then comes back and responds. So we're going to take it further. We're not going to stop, because we don't want to create a situation where we must go back to the Zuma years, where we must go to court because chairpersons of portfolio committees, because speakers are not doing the job of parliament, which is holding the executive accountable.
And then just in closing, your reaction then to the recent development of the minister deciding to withdraw those appointments. Are you in any way heartened that at least that has been withdrawn?
Look, we are most certainly vindicated. I've been laughing the whole day when people like the DA and the MKP want to come and claim this victory. Because as far as they are concerned, and as far as the chairperson of the committee is concerned, they did not want to deal with this matter immediately. In fact, they were waiting for some imaginary meeting that must come next week, Wednesday, because they are not even sure if the minister was going to come before the committee on Wednesday. But it was due to the pressure that the EFF put in Parliament. It was due to the EFF not folding in holding the department accountable that the minister felt the need to withdraw those appointments immediately. Because had it been up to the DA, had it been up to the MKP, had it been up to the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Higher Education, South Africa was going to wait for some imaginary meeting with the minister, which we don't know when that meeting was going to sit. It was the EFF that said, we're not going to wait for letters, we are going to act now. We want the answers now, and the response has come out. The process is withdrawn, the process is reopened. The son of Gwede Mantashe is no longer appointed as chair of the board. The friends of ANC politicians are no longer there. Nepotism has failed, accountability and the truth has won.
All right.